Ruth McCracken and Trisetta Washington, two top-notch career and business strategists, are here to help you defy standards and break boundaries. Join them as they share powerful insights that have already impacted thousands of people and will have a major impact on your career, life balance, and business.
I don't know why I be dancing back here.
I dance every time too. That's the first time that I hadn't.
Oh my goodness. This is going to be a major game changer. Hello, everyone. Hello, Trisetta girl. What's going on? I just love the fact that we now made a decision to bring this topic up. And I know you all are probably wondering what is it that they're going to be talking about when it comes to master your money in the Breaking Boundaries series. I'm super excited. It's something that I know we were birthing. We've been conceptualizing since January, but we said we're going to save it. I guess it was meant to be saved for this period and this season in our time. Super excited, super elated. So go ahead and, just let's grab some more of your friends, your cool partners, even folks that that mastering your money may have been a certain limitation or challenge. I'm going to be the one to tell you that you're in the right place at the right time. So go ahead and connect. Let's go ahead and elevate. Let's go ahead and break some cycles. Let's go ahead and change some of the rules, right? Yes. So I'm excited. If you're coming in for the first time, let me let you know who we are. Who are these incredible light beings that's in your news feed, depending on where you are maybe listening, if it's through audio or if you're watching live with us. I got to tell you, high performers come to us here at Promote Yourself because here's the truth: from mid-level to C-suite, they come to us because they're disgusted. Let me just tell you this truth. They're wanting to eliminate from being unrecognized to truly being able to standing out as superstars, because it matters to them that they're now being able to be rewarded in a way for what they've now collected throughout their work experience. And if that is you, where you're wanting to attract, your premium companies, land your dream career opportunity effortlessly, but just not sure whether or not if you're having the right roadmap to highlight how you are that high performer, well, you and I need to talk to see how you can be a fit for our Promote Yourself programs. Just go ahead and definitely hit us in the DMs and let me know. And I would personally reach out to you to see how we can co-create and get you started.
Hey, everyone. Coach Trisetta here. I am the CEO and founder of Profitable Productivity, life balance coach, productivity consultant, all the things. And what we do is partner with ambitious women in leadership to help them overcome burnout and overwhelm by using an approach that really combines time management strategies with intentional self-care. It's what I like to call balanced ambition, because you don't have to choose between being successful in your career and being successful in life. You can have both. And I do this by drawing from my 25 plus years of experience in operations management, creating systems and processes to create these tailored solutions that help my clients to increase their productivity and create sustainable success while empowering them to achieve their goals without sacrificing their health or their well-being. And if that sounds like you, if you're dealing with a little bit of stress, a little bit of overwhelm, on the verge of burnout, definitely shoot me a DM or hop on my calendar at chatwithtrisetta.com. I'd be happy to have a conversation with you to see how we can create your balanced ambition playbook so that you can get out there and be your most productive self and enjoy life.
I listen, that is a really great segue as to what we're about to unfold. We're going to kind of leave the door open today. Is that all right? Leaving the door open to invite you all, because it matters to us that we want to hear from you. We want to hear from you because as we're evolving and as we're going to be talking on a variety of topics underneath Master Your Money, in this particular episode today, we want to be able to dig into your brains and allow you the opportunity and the platform to go ahead and hit us in the comments. And we want to know from you as to why this particular topic of money, mastering your money, is such a more personal topic, but not only because I talk to hundreds of high performers on an ongoing basis, and not realizing that just listening to a whole variety of communication, it all boils down to what's your relationship like with money?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's been some of the limitations on how are you maybe managing your finances, your financial capabilities? Maybe it's around your education, on what you were brought up in your household. Was it maybe a structure on how to take your allowance and maybe take 10% of that and pay it forward? Did you get taught that? Do you know that you have to have some sort of consistent relationship? So we want to open up the floor. We want to be able to help you understand what is the money mindset. Understanding, in my book, to me, when I hear, and Tracetta, you're welcome to chime in too, understanding the mindset from my perspective, especially growing up. I was raised in an immigrant household from the West Indies, Haiti, and my parents, their goal and dream and their objective was to get us to somewhere where we didn't have to worry. We want to be in a family, in the land of the free, right? Where we can create opportunities, create ways to invest, create ways where we don't feel that we're lack of. But if you don't have the education piece, the knowledge and the understanding, because they both married together, yes or yes. If you don't have those two in secret, in a synced relationship, how would your success of money be that successful?
Yeah, I think it's so I want to kind of back up a little bit before we go
Absolutely.
even further, and just kind of share how we came about even having this discussion, because I will say we kind of went back and forth a little bit about whether or not to do this topic, because we're the podcast, or Breaking Boundaries is all about career and business and how to really advance that, how to grow professionally and personally. And we're like, does this topic really fit in with what we're talking about? And it absolutely does, because Ruth and I both were having a conversation about how we are wanting to elevate in our finances. So this series is not just a kind of like beat you over the head kind of thing.
No.
It's to do better with your finances, to do better with your money. It's also about growing and scaling your money. So now that you have the salary, and you've got kind of your personal finances maybe at a good place, but you're ready to kind of start to delve into more investing and delve into other avenues of wealth and financial tools. But you need to know that. So we're going to cover some basics. We are going to cover some basics for those of you who might need a little refresher, right? Or who don't know, because we do have some young folk, some young 20 somethings that follow us, watch the podcast as well. But we want to be able to tackle all of these different topics. And because we're right here in it and having these conversations with each other, we wanted to invite you into the conversation. So today is really a conversation. We're not scripted today. We don't have like a full outline of what we want to cover. We really want it to be transparent.
We want to be
yes, we want it to be open and transparent, and just kind of share with you from our perspective why we want to talk about this and where we're going, but then also open the door for you all to share kind of what things you might want to hear about as it relates to your financial wellness. So, and money, your mindset is crucial, right? Because how you think about money, is how you will treat money.
Can you rewind? Let's play that on rewind. It needs to come back with so much resonance, because I don't think people are aware that how they're treating money is maybe the high reason or the chances why they're having the experience with that money situation.
Right. If you don't know, like if you don't have a good emotional relationship with money, if you don't have a good emotional relationship with money, then you're going to mismanage, you're going to mistreat it, right? It's just like, think about if you're in a romantic relationship and you are unhealed and you have some negative mindsets or negative beliefs as it relates to relationships. And so you bring that hurt into the relationship and you do damage to the other person because you yourself are not healed because of the lens that you view the relationship through.
That part, yes.
It's
or you maybe brought it back
emotion.
from an old relationship, and then you just brought that to this one, thinking that it was going to pretty much produce the same result.
Exactly, right? So at different phases, we need different attitudes or mindsets because at different seasons of life, our priorities are different.
Yes. And we need to know that.
Yeah.
I learned, we can't try to be happy and worry at the same time. If you're looking at money as though it may fulfill you, because you get happy when you buy a gift and you give it to someone, but you're worrying at the same time, how am I going to be able to maintain certain, if I do this, what if something happened? What if my car, I need to get a spare tire? Then you start creating these, not to say that those scenarios are not valid, but if you're creating it in the time that you're wanting to be giving, it then makes the energy and the emotion conflicts with, why should I give you more? Right. Why should you even get more if you're not thinking to pour out more, but you wanting to hold it in, right?
Right. So if you are new here, we are both Christians. And so we reference the Bible from time to time as we're talking about subjects in order to drive a point home. And so I want to say, this caveat here, where the scripture says, give and it shall be given unto you. Right. So a lot of times we think that we are supposed to receive and then we give.
Yes.
And in order for us to really have the financial abundance that we really desire to have, we have to first begin with giving, right? Being a conduit, being able to allow money to flow through us. Why do you think it's called a cash flow, right? It's supposed to flow through us, right? Yes, we need a reservoir, right? We do need a reservoir.
Yeah.
But once the reservoir is filled, what happens? Because the reservoir, what keeps a reservoir? What kind of contains the reservoir?
What's the container?
A dam.
Yeah.
Right? There's a dam. And when the reservoir gets too high, they open the floodgates of the dam to release the excess water.
Come through.
So that it does not create, so that it does not damage, so that it does not wreak havoc, so that it does not destroy.
Yes.
And if we get more money than we can handle because we have not dealt with our mindset, we have not grown up, then money can destroy us. So you have to learn how to strategically release your money so that you maintain what you need to be okay financially, but then also you create an avenue for you to continue to be poured into.
I love it. I'm pretty sure the audience is probably lighting up the comments right now because this is something that we don't typically talk about in breaking boundaries. But if you're wanting to give yourself the grace to breaking the boundaries that's limiting you, maybe perhaps from your upbringing, maybe perhaps you didn't pay close attention when you took that economic class in high school, or perhaps you decided to, like for me, my background is accounting and finance. And you would think I have money management and money financing and all the education in the world on deck. That could be so. But if your emotions is not aligning with all of that wonderful accolades and degrees and certifications, guess what? It doesn't matter.
No, you're going to sabotage.
You're going to sabotage all the wealth of knowledge.
You're going to self-sabotage. Oh my gosh. So I kind of want to talk about, since we're sitting here in this like kind of like money mindset thing, what is a money myth, or what is something that you always heard growing up that's negative about money, right? So when you Ruth, you share one and then I'll share one, and then those of you who are watching, drop in the comments If you chime in and say like, oh yeah, I heard that before, or drop one that we don't mention. Ruth, what's something you heard growing up about money?
I said it to you behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And you shared with me it's not that. And I was like, well, as growing up in a very religious community, they would always say money is the root of all evil. Money is the root of all evil. Who else can say, yes, I know this to be true, because that's how I've heard it, just being a ringing of the mantra in my head all the time. You don't want to do it because money is the root of, it's what you do with money, and then money is to come back, and then you're going to get all of this type of result and outcome because of how you're having this money love affair with money in a way where you're now, well, not the love part. It just said the money was the evil part of it. Like, oh,
having a bunch of money.
Right. If you make too much money, it's considered. What else? Let us know in the comments if you're maybe have something similar, or maybe another money myth. And I'm pretty sure, Tressetta, you probably got quite a bit, or maybe just one that that it was always repeated, like the one I just shared.
Yeah. Right? For me, it was money doesn't grow on trees.
Ooh.
Right. And so, that was what, money, with asking for things, and it's like, money doesn't grow on trees,
right.
And that's true. Right there. There's nobody that I know of. Nobody that I know of has a tree in their backyard or in their front yard where they could just go pluck $100 bill or pluck a $20 bill.
If you do, let me know so I can get the seed from that.
Tree. Come on with it, right? Yeah, I haven't. I'm not aware of that, and that's very true. But really, what the thing about it is it's the underlying message behind that is that it comes from a place of a scarcity mindset. It's saying that
lack of education.
Right.
Lack of understanding.
Exactly. Like, it's because we feel like, people say that because they're like, well, I only have a certain amount of money, and if I spend it all, then I won't have anything left. Failing to realize that there is an unlimited supply of money. Yes. The thing is, we have to, now I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it's easy to accumulate all this money. I'm not going to pretend like it's easy.
Come through. Yes.
At the same time, the only limit to our earning potential is our mindset, right? It's what we believe, because the Bible also talks about, like, as a man thinketh, so is he. And our mindset really kind of serves as the thermostat for what we can have, right? So if you
I like that.
If you believe that you're making $75,000, like, I've got to make $75,000 a year. That's my bare minimum. And what will happen is, if that's your level, when you go above that,
come through,
subconsciously, you are going to self-sabotage to bring your income back down to the 75,000.
I don't know. Is anyone feeling how I'm feeling right now? I hope you all are resonating. I hope you're getting all kind of neurochemistry and any kind of just rewiring and
firing off.
Yes, firing off in you. Because am I the only one? Let me know I'm not. Please tell me I'm not the only one.
You're not the only one. You are. I promise you're not the only one. You're not the only one.
I feel
but it's also the opposite, right? So if, let's say you get laid off, or, you lose your job, or something happens and you have to take a pay cut, then you're subconsciously, because you are comfortable at 75,000, your subconscious is going to go to work to figure out how to get you back to
because
the level of that you're comfortable. So think about going back to the thermostat. Going back to the thermostat, if you have a thermostat in your home that has that auto setting where you set it at a particular temperature, and depending upon if the temperature rises above or drops below, the heat will come on or the air will come on.
Yes.
So that's what, that's how our mindset serves.
It's programmed that way.
We are, and it is when we begin to elevate our mindset and release kind of some of those beliefs that we have that aren't serving what we desire. And some of those kind of myths that we have believed to be true, when we start to rewrite that script in our mind, we start to elevate and increase our capacity for more.
Oh, I like that. Who's ready to increase what they thought that they wasn't even aware that they had this major money lack, not wanting to say lack, but just not fully aware. We want to raise your consciousness. Our whole purpose of this open dialogue today is we're wanting to raise your consciousness around money. We want to be able to allow you to release yourself from the cage of thinking that you got to hold on to everything so you don't feel like you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. And lo and behold, you end up robbing Peter to pay Paul, and you're wondering why. Well, you're making a good amount of money. You're decent, whatever your decent amount of money may be to you. It may be 50,000, it may be 60, 70, and you're wondering why am I not be able to float the way I want to float with my money relationship?
And it's because of your mindset. It's because of your mindset. And I remember I was stuck at a particular income for a while, and I was really getting frustrated. And I was working.
Let us know in the comments that you find
absolutely,
even with whatever experience you may have or education, and you're finding yourself making 35, 45, 50,000 for a numerous consistent amount of years. And you're wondering, what in the
that was totally me. And I started my business as a way to, start to increase my income. Yes. And I wasn't having a great deal of success. So I started investing in coaches and trainings and different things to learn how to better manage my business so that I can gain clients. Yeah. And I was still struggling to make money.
Yes.
I was
you had all the tools, right? You've had all the systems,
I had all the strategies.
All the strategies, yes. Come through.
I had the tools here. I had the strategies. I had the products. I had all the things. And I'm like, why isn't it working? It was because I was the problem.
Who can now admit that you're the problem of your money situation? Not your manager,
right?
Not your husband, not your wife, not your significant other,
not your kids.
Not the kids, none of that.
No, I was the problem. And when I really started to deal with, when I recognized that and started to deal with my mindset specifically as it relates to money, and kind of started to uproot some of those beliefs that I had based on the way that I was brought up, then that's when I started to elevate. And in 2022, I made, in 1 month, I made 75% of my prior year's income.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
In 1 month.
Yeah. That's huge.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh. And it was because I did the work, I released those things and increased my capacity so that I could.
Yeah, because I do believe that everybody is tied to a certain money container. And that could just very well be your upbringing, your environment, what you thought to be true. Growing up, mom and dad only made a certain amount of money. Therefore, you thought that's how much you need to make. And it just that became your reality. And the moment you decide to, like you mentioned, the dam scenario where it goes to a point where it has an overflow. And then you're like, wait a minute. And it could very well be your emotions. You're like, wow, I'm not used to this being in my bank account. And then boom, it's all back to being to what it's used to, whatever that be.
And you know what? One of the things that was a catalyst for this was exposure to what was possible.
Oh,
right. Sometimes we set the bar where we set it because that's all we are aware is possible. We don't realize that that's more
familiar. You're familiar to seeing, okay, I can keep a steady $500 a week coming in, or $500, whatever the case may be, coming in, because that's what you're familiar with.
Right.
But the moment you're starting adding an extra zero behind that, and you're like, okay, what is going on? Who can understand? Who can relate with that? Now, you don't want to be the only one in the group making a certain amount of income, whether it be in your family, whether it be in your circle of friends. let us know in the comments. We want to hear from you.
Here.
What has been some of your limitation? What has been some of your struggles or what you're trying to overcome when it comes to mastering or becoming the expert of mastering your money, being the master of your money? Because right now, if that's you, that's why we're opening up our platform to hear from you, because we hear you and we see you, and we want to hear you even louder. Because if you don't talk about it, how can you address a problem and identify it so you can be able to heal from it if you don't recognize it?
Yeah, that's it right there. You got to shine the light on it so that you can, because oftentimes what we're doing is we're putting a Band-Aid on things. You know, we're dealing with the symptom.
Yes.
Right. We're dealing with the symptom. Another real quick example. A few years ago, I had a back injury, and I literally, I was in so much pain. It was painful to stand. It was painful to sit. It was painful to lay down. It didn't matter what position I was in. My back basically had, like, a muscle in my back had basically locked up, is how I felt. And I had one of my friends is a chiropractor. And so I reached out to her and I was like, hey, can you, and specifically her area of focus was like sports medicine, right? So she dealt a lot with sports injuries and whatnot. So that's why I reached out to her. And so she came to work on me. And what it turned out to be was, it wasn't my back at all. Right. I was thinking I'm putting the heating pad on my back, thinking that the problem was in my back. That was just a symptom of the real problem, which was there was a muscle in my in my hip.
Oh my gosh.
That had locked up, and my back muscle was compensating for the muscle that was locked up. So a lot of times we're dealing with the symptoms and not the root.
Unbelievable.
So that is why we're having this conversation, because we want you to deal with the root of the matter. So we want to hear from you, kind of like, what are the things that you are challenged with as it relates to money? What are the things that you want to learn more about so that you can elevate your money? Maybe you're in a good place financially and you want to elevate to a new level. We want to know, what are those topics that you want to hear about so that we make sure that we bring people in. We've already got 2 people lined up that we're going to bring in. We've got one person coming in to talk about personal finance. We've got another person coming in that specializes in money mindset.
Oh, yes. That's going to be a good one for me.
Specifically teaches around money mindset. And we are super excited to bring these ladies on to share. So, but we also want to make sure that, like, we have a bunch of ideas for topics, like, for example, budgeting and money management strategies, of course, investing, retirement planning, building multiple streams of income.
Yes, all of that. All that sounds amazing. And yes, credit is, I love it.
Right.
Are you all excited and ready? Yes.
We could even talk about maybe evaluating compensation packages, right? So really, because it's more than just the salary.
Yes. Or the hourly rate for those who maybe,
right. It's more, your compensation package is more than just your paycheck. Basically. At the end of 2 weeks or at the end of a month or whatever, however often.
1,000%.
Right.
1,000%.
So, but like I said, or like we said, we want to hear from you. We want to know what are those burning topics that you want to hear about so that we can make sure that we're covering those over the next few weeks. So drop them in the comments, and we're going to come back after the live stream is up and kind of grab hold of all the different things that you've said so that we can make sure that we address them.
We want to, because it matters to us that who wants to break some boundaries around their money limitation? Who wants to now become the master of their money? That money is in a great relationship with them. And you no longer want to carry the stigma that, oh, money grows on trees. Don't come for me for money. We have this society in the Western hemisphere where we don't really want to conversate too much about money because we find it to be sensitive. Like it's taboo, right? Money is part of our reality and what we need in our environment. Let's open ourselves and be clear as to what is it that's causing the rut. Is it truly your manager? Is it truly the banker? Is it truly, stop pointing fingers outside. Let's kind of be our own self therapists within ourselves. Right? And we want to help you with that process. Is that all right? Is this helpful for you all? Let us know, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people in our audience is thinking, where were you all 6 months ago? Because I've been thinking about this, and I'm so happy that you all are bringing this in the forefront here on our platforms, wherever you may be streaming from, because it matters. Today is the day that you get to decide that I want to shift. I want to make a difference. So get ready, because in the next few weeks, we're going to just roll out the red carpet, sweethearts and gentlemen, because guess what? It's time to make a shift. It's time to do a breakthrough. It's time to create new rules around your money limitations, and let's have a forever love affair with it, because it matters that you grow your relationship in a very holistic way, and then have some fun with it. Have some fun and become more aware. I'm so happy that you all are taking the time, and if you're not following us yet, why not? Let's go ahead and connect, share. Let's disrupt the algorithm and all the platforms. You may not even want to go back and replay, because again, we're wanting to help you rewire and refire how your thoughts are behaving when you go to bed. What ways are you waking up? Are you wanting to wake up and say, who can I give today? What can I do how can I be a better service to my coworkers, or to my leaders, or to my team? Because we want to transform you. We want to help you transform you. I hope this is inspiring. Continue to grow, continue to soar and strive. And it is our goal to continue to present to you all the proper tools that we've done deep research on and collaborated with other tools and systems to allow us to be that voice of breaking boundaries together. Is that all right?
Sounds good to me.
Awesome. Well, enjoy the rest of your day. We would love to see you all next time. Until next time, bye for now.
Bye for now.
Join and subscribe with career strategist Ruth McCracken and business strategist Trissetta Washington to the Breaking Boundaries podcast each week. You too can experience the limitless potential of rewriting rules and creating an extraordinary future for yourself.